I'm with my new friend, Caroline Salas. She is an upcoming actress, and I want to talk to her about the topic that I am writing about. Our friend Anna will not be joining us. Unfortunately, her family had an emergency, and she will be joining us at a later date at some point to have a different kind of conversation. We are sending her our best thoughts and trying to figure out if, she will, if everything will be well with her, which we hope so. So let me join Caroline. Let's see, how do I join this? I forget. Okay, so I have her here. Caroline, can you request to join?
Of course.
I think it'll be easier that way.
Okay, so should it be like from my phone?
Yes. There's there should be a small part of the screen there. There you go. Let's see. I'm waiting for it to start. There she is. So let me set my phone down so we can actually record both of us. Give me a moment.
All right.
All right. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. So happy to be here.
So am I that you are with us today. So tell us about yourself. I know you're an actress. You're 19 years old. So this is the beginning of what hopefully will be an amazing career in the acting industry. You have taken some classes and you have done some workshops, but I want people to know more about you before we get started.
All right, well, I was born in Panama to a Panamanian father and a Colombian mother. So it's always so nice that I've always had a little bit of both cultures. So it's been really amazing. I'm a dog mom. I love dog a lot, so I spend time with them. And what else? I love books. I'm obsessed with books, by the way.
I'm so happy that you love books because I'm a writer, and this is what we're going to talk about. So well-read people are usually really interesting to talk to because you have a lot of opinions, right? And it's what I'm hoping to hear from you today, because there's a lot of controversy around the topic that we're touching on. So are you single? Do you date? I'm not hooking you up with anybody, or, I just want to know.
First, well, I guess, yeah, right now, well, it's not in the forefront of my mind. I have dated, but yeah, I'm single.
All right. Hold on a second. Let me check something with the audio because I don't know. I can't hear it here. And I want to make sure that it's actually working. Can you guys hear us? The people of Instagram there. Can you guys hear us well? All right, hopefully it'll be fine. I can't hear it on my end. I don't know why, but I can hear you. So let's try. Can you hear your Instagram connection there?
All right, so I currently don't have the Instagram audio on, but I don't know if you can listen to me. It's
okay.
great.
We'll continue like this. Hopefully it'll be okay. So so my topic today, and this is really cool. I don't know if you have. This is supposed to be Cocktails with Claire, by the way, and this is my first one. Hopefully in the long run, I'll be able to send you stuff and we can kind of create new cool. You are 19, so you're legal enough to drink. I just want to make sure that we're clear on this. People who make drinks have to be of legal age. Here in Panama, it's 18, right?
Yeah, that's right.
To make sure. I got myself some cookies today. I love cookies. These are apple and some peanuts. And so what I'm making is, next time when we do this, what I'm going to do is just send you the stuff so you can kind of make it on your own. I have ice going here already. And hold on a sec. So I'm making my own twist of my own Panamanian twist of the Sex on the Beach. So as you well know, I've had my website as Claire in the City, Claire in the Country, and now it's going to be Claire on the Beach. And because it's Claire on the beach, I got this instead of vodka and other ingredients. I got this. It's rum from here. I think so. It's flor de caña. So it's not expensive to make and it's super delicious. And I'm going to pour it in front of you so you can see. So here, you pour a little bit of that. It's white. Oh, here, the other camera. Ew, that's a lot of rum. That's a lot of rum. I'll be drunk by the end of this, I promise you, Caroline. And then I have this, it's banana red 2020 liqueur. Instead of peach schnapps, I think this is. Oh, here we go. Let me show you so you can see it. Right? So now it's a little bit of color. What's that?
Oh no, don't worry. I'm just trying to fix it a little bit here.
And I got, oh, I'm missing the orange juice. So excuse me while I go get the orange juice. Orange juice is super important. Hold on a second. Here we go. Orange juice. Tropicana. Okay, so a little bit of, I'm making a mess already. Tropicana orange juice. There it is, Tropicana orange juice. Cranberry juice. I'm missing the cranberry juice. Yeah, put cranberry on it. Hold on. Cranberry juice. I love cranberries. So a little bit of cranberry juice. Here we go. And for la pièce de résistance, I got carbonated water, a little bit of carbonated water. Yes, so this is my version of the Sex on the Beach. I call it Claire on the Beach. I'm constantly making in a twist of Mandarin. Do you see? A twist of Mandarin. So you take a grind of the Mandarin and you twist it. So it releases the flavors. It smells like a Mandarin and you just put it in the drink like this. There we go. Cheers.
Cheers. Yay. All right, so I gotta make my drink real quick, but don't worry, it's something really simple.
So, I'm listening.
Okay, so I had a few other bottles to make something, but unfortunately I left them on the, on the warehouse. So now I'll be making something that
I'm intrigued because you didn't tell me what you were going to make. So I'm super intrigued.
Yeah, it's a whole surprise. We're both here making everything. Okay, so what I got here is one of my favorites. Really simple, but I'm gonna be making just a scotch on the rocks. So I made like this really big ice. So I'm just gonna put it in there. And
well, let me see. It's a block of ice.
Well, I used like a bakery mold and I made like flowers. So it's like a big chunk of
cool. Okay.
Yeah, and now I'm gonna be using a chalice because I don't really have one of the whiskey tumblers. So let me just make whiskey on the rocks. So here's the scotch.
Ooh, I love scotch. Nom nom.
Yeah, it's really great. So just gonna pour approximately 60 ounces. So that should be.
Oh, okay. Keep pouring it.
And there. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers to you. Yum yum. Okay. It's really good. So you have been dating. I'm thinking you have been dating. You're clearly a beautiful young girl and very smart and driven from what we've talked, right? I just met you recently through the Guildies, or I call them the Guildies, the Theater Guild of Ancon, because I've worked with them before, and I think a lot of people from there have become really close friends and colleagues, and I really enjoy being part of the Guildies. So I'm going to call you a Guildie the whole time. I'm a Guildie myself as of now. So tell me about your experiences when it comes to dating, and here's why. I want to know from your perspective what it feels like to be perhaps seen as not good enough for a person physically. So this is what we're going to talk about today. The fact that some guys don't actually think that physically you are up to their level or up to par when it comes to being a certain look or having a certain figure. How have you felt in recent years? Have you had any experiences that you want to tell us about? Something that you felt bad about, perhaps?
All right, well, I can tell you I had some crazy experiences,
Yeah.
And see, this is the interesting bit. I
Yeah.
can't really say they have all been nice. So it really gives you a perspective on, today's society and how we date, how we handle that culturally.
Yeah.
So I think that issue has not been particularly been something that I have had to face, I would say, directly. I definitely have felt I guess that sort of unworthiness that you talked about, feeling like you're not good enough or beautiful enough for someone. And I would rather say it's been more of like a personal experience to me growing up. So you would guess during high school, I did not date. I did not date, absolutely. And part of that is actually this issue around physical image. So growing up, I did struggle a lot with that. And I'm really, really grateful that I got the resources to.
But I don't get it. You are absolutely beautiful. Why would you struggle? This is the thing that people think about. But I think most girls do struggle, and I have met a lot of them in my age group and younger who have had difficulties struggling with disabilities, or struggling, and I talk about disabilities because I have a weird eye because of what happened to me. I've overcome a lot of it. Struggling with weight or struggling with the standards of society. You have to be a certain perfect look, right? For somebody to like you, and it's completely messed up. So what makes a young girl like you, like I said, clearly beautiful and completely intelligent, smart, driven, not feel good about how she feels, how she looks physically? What do you think it is?
Well, I think nowadays in society, at least while I was growing up, I think we have placed a male validation as a value placeholder, like as a self-worth. And then I think we don't really realize when we start ingraining this in kids' educations, in little girls, bringing ups. And if you ever notice it, it's always, you're very beautiful, you're a very nice girl when they compliment a little girl. And it's very rarely that for little boys. So I think they really start
it's a lot different.
Kind of like tying up your beauty to your value as you're growing up. And we really start making those connections from a young age. And I think social media also has perpetuated a lot of those issues. So it's been really, I think those were like a few of the components that really affected that for me. And it's really hard to dig yourself
Yeah.
out of that.
I think
especially
for a lot of young girls, especially, social media has a purpose, and I've discussed this before with young people. And and I've written about it. It can have a detrimental value. The person is not well developed emotionally to handle what comes with the territory. I think social media can be both a place for this kind of situation and the good things that happen in life, right? Connectivity with others who are good for you. So social media is a factor. I would agree. Yes. I think a lot of people criticize and are criticized over social media for the way they look, especially when you are a little bit overweight, or for me, it's about aging. I think for women my age, we've come to terms with the way we look. We love our bodies. We're super comfortable with it. And I can't even begin to tell you how liberating it is. But you start to struggle with aging because you have to sort of adapt to the fact that you're becoming older, and a lot of women have difficulty, especially single at my age. Right? I think, yes, social media is a factor. But do you think maybe on a personal level, and thank you, by the way, Cassie, who said, thank you very much. When you date someone, specifically date someone, and I think we talked about this before, if you date someone for a long time and somehow you become different for circumstances out of your control, or you are I don't know, you gain weight. It happened to me. I gained weight, and all of a sudden this guy or this girl doesn't want to be with you anymore. How does that make you feel? How am I feel if I'm outside of my control? I gain more weight than I should have, and this because I was sick. Because for me, thankfully, I wasn't with anybody, but I was sick, and I got fat because I couldn't do anything. The doctors told me to just relax on my back because my eye, I had a retina detachment, and if I moved a little bit too much, it would detach completely and I would go fully blind. So I was starting to take care of my eye, and I just ate a lot because I was depressed and tired and angry, and I had to come to terms with a lot of stuff. And imagine if I had been with somebody and so suddenly he dumped me because I was fat. It would, and I was facing cancer. It would have been devastating. So how would you feel at your age, feeling confident, beautiful, strong, to be called something that you feel or not? And even if you are, even if some girls don't feel like, beauty to everyone, in my opinion. How do you handle this at your age? What is it that you do to say, you know what you're saying has your value, I have my own, and I'm going to deal with this in a different way, not listening to your opinion of me, but listening to my opinion of me. How do you deal with this? Do you talk to people? Do you read? What is it that you do personally?
Right, so yeah, that's actually a great perspective and a great question, because I do feel like when you're young, it's really hard to find that, it's like it's like a specific set of events have to happen for you to find a way to deal with that. And I gotta say, I'm really grateful that I have found a way. I have found many ways to do that. And I've had a set of specific events happen to me that brought me to that realization that I think the main component is that you have to understand that even if you're not the best version of yourself right now, or even if you feel like you could be better, you could be this, you could be that, you are still important and you're still valuable, and you have the same amount of, beauty, of love that you.
Well, where do you gather this strength?
Like
where do you
now.
feel? Where do you gather these values to you where do they come from?
These values to you, where do they come from?
Well, I guess you really have to look inwards. You have to appreciate the other aspects of yourself that make you who you are. And it really is about like being the person that's always going to be there for you first. At least for me, that's how it works. Like, I just remember that, I'm the one who's going to be with me. Like, when I die, I'm the one that was with me when I was born. So I really try to be that first person that's gonna love me and say yes to me. Like, I try to remember that, for example, if I ever find a lover that I really, really love, I kind of like look at it from this perspective of, I want them to love me in a way that I love myself. And I kind of like, I gotta love myself in a way that I would love someone else to love me, So it's kind of like that analogy for me. Like, would somebody that really loves me, treat me like this or think this about me?
Absolutely.
And that really helps me figure
Absolutely.
out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think when you're with somebody who appreciates who you are, even if there are difficulties, because there might be. And I think when it comes to being with someone, selecting a mate, someone who's going to share your life with you. At your age, it's a little bit different. I think maybe it's not, maybe, it's those societal structures that I'm following in my head. But when you're young, you're looking for somebody to have fun with, to party, to be happy with. But you're also looking, in your case, for someone to be a lover, a person who is there to love you too. So you find the strength of being bombarded with difficulty, being with someone you care about. What if the person you're actually dating is the one who says these things? And this is where what I was trying to go to, because it's quite difficult to deal with it if the person you're with does not see you as your best self. They criticize things about you. What does that make you feel? I want you to tell me this part, because I'm going to tell you exactly what I feel about it.
Yeah, well, I'll give you a really personalized answer based on what I consider.
That's what I want you to do. Yes. Because I think it's good for others to hear a different opinion, somebody who's different from me in many ways, but at the same time, we're very similar because we're in the same career, and it's a difficult career. You get a lot of criticism, and you have to toughen up. But I don't like it. I don't want to be toughened up. I like being sensitive, emotional, and weird. I love it. And to me, it's been one of the most difficult things that I've had to deal with in the past, both in relationships and career-wise. To be soft and kind-hearted, and at the same time, you have to be tough. So how do you reconcile with those things?
Okay,
have you ever been asked by like a boyfriend or somebody you were dating? Have you ever been told something like, "You're not good looking. I don't like this about you," or "You're not," something they didn't like about you that really offended you?
I don't think I've gone through that experience. For me, it's always been a little bit more of like a self-talk, I guess, an internal talk. I've always been somebody that perhaps overthinks a little, perhaps thinks, a lot and deranged into different places. But I guess that helps me understand the reflection of what that would be like in another person. Perhaps I have heard similar things from other people that are not necessarily somebody that I consider like a close person to me. But here's the thing, like, I've always been really selective, especially with a potential partner or anything like that. Always been very selective, and it's pretty much like a paradox because most people would think that I actually that it's easy for me to actually distance myself from emotion, but I'm actually like a really I am a very emotional person. I feel things very deeply, and I think that has made me grow up building like this sort of strength to know how to step aside from my feelings and keep them more protected to me.
Very
So-
smart. That's a very smart way to handle it.
Smart way to handle it.
It isn't easy.
It isn't easy.
And it's a very, I commend you on it.
I
Because
commend you
it's
on
super
it.
difficult
Super difficult
to face
to face
harsh comments and
harsh
still hold
comments
your
and
strength.
still
You know,
hold
I've
your strength.
cried.
I've
I've been
cried. I've
bullied
been
many times.
many
I've
times.
been, oh my
I've
God, I just told you a
been-
story. Remember that I told you I
Oh
was,
my
I went to this bar and I asked the lady,
went
this
to
happened
bar
last year. I asked the
and I
lady
asked
if I could
the
sing with her.
lady,
And
it
we're
happened
veering
last
off topic a little bit, but
year.
I asked her if I could sing with her. Like I politely
and
said it
politely
to her,
said it
and she pushed me. She pushed me
to
so
her.
hard. If I hadn't been like, I'm physically very strong,
and she
I could have
pushed
fallen
me.
on
She
the
pushed me
ground.
so
And
hard and down.
so it's not like a very
it's not like a
uncommon
very
thing either.
uncommon
And I
thing
worry about
either.
people
I
like
worry
you
about
in your
people like
age
you
group
in your
who
age
are
group
becoming
who are
artists
artists
and how difficult it
and how
is. So this
difficult
is,
it is. So
you know,
this is,
on the
you
other
know,
spectrum
on the other
of having a
spectrum
career
of
and how
having a
difficult it
career
is, but
and
you
how
can
difficult
handle both
it is,
things
but
in
you
this.
can handle both things.
Now, when it comes to
Now, when it
relationships and
comes to
having
relationships and
having someone who doesn't
someone
care
who
about
doesn't
you
care about
enough to say,
enough
you know what,
say,
this comment
you know
is going to
what,
be,
this
it's
comment
going
is
to
gonna
be
be-
bad
it's going
for
to
this
be bad
person. I'm
for
going
this
to
person.
be
I'm going to be
hurtful.
hurtful.
I think it's very important
I
to be
think it's
completely
very
honest.
important to be completely honest.
Everything that we
With
say and do.
everything
I
that
am
we say
one of
and
the
do.
most honest
I am
people you
one
ever
of the
meet.
most honest people you
And I
ever
tell
meet.
you
And I
right
tell you
and directly
right and
when I feel
directly
something.
when I feel something.
But I think
But I think
emotionally,
emotionally,
the connectivity that I
the
have with a person that I like
that I
is
have with a
way
person
more
that I like
important
is way more
than how
important
they physically look
than
to
how they
other
physically look
people.
to
Because this is
others.
usually what it
Because
is.
this is usually what it is.
I am with someone
I am
who
with
is not
someone
up
who is
to
not
the
up
standards
to
of
the
society
standards
for
of
me to
society
be
for
with,
me
so
to be
they
with,
get to
so
criticize
they
this
get to
person.
criticize
If
this person.
I am with this
If
person,
I am
then
with
that
this
means
person,
I
then
like
that
them enough
means
to be
I
with
like
them.
them enough to
And
be
to
with
me,
them. And to me,
being intelligent,
being
driven,
intelligent,
kind,
driven,
100% more than anything,
100% more than anything,
assertive and grounded is way more important
way more important
than physical
than
looks. You can
physical
grab a
looks.
person,
You
give
can
them
grab
a
a
good
person,
pair of,
give them a good
you
pair of
know, slacks or a
slacks or a
suit or a
suit
nice dress,
or a
lift up
nice
your
dress,
titties,
lift up
and
your
you know,
titties,
everybody
and,
is happy.
everybody
You
is
look
happy.
good, you put some makeup
You look
on.
good, you put some makeup on.
I think all
I
of these
think
physical
all these
attributes
physical
do not
attributes
matter when it comes
when it
to
comes to
going to bed with a person
going
or
to bed
being
with
in a
person,
relationship with a
or
person.
being in a relationship
You are with a person
You are with a person
because of the person,
because
not
of the
because of how they
person,
look.
not because of how they
So
look.
to me, it
So
has
to me,
no
it has no
importance. It
importance.
doesn't bear
It doesn't
importance
bear
when it comes
importance
to
when it
being
comes
with someone.
someone.
I think people need to
people
feel
need
physically
to
attractive
feel physically
in order
attractive
to
in order
exude
to
this attractiveness
exude this attraction
and
and
to be
be
the person they
the
want to
person they
be
want
is
to
what
be
makes
is
them
what
attractive
makes
to
them
the
attractive.
other person. So this is where I want to
This is
sort
where I
of
want to
grasp
sort of
on for
grasp
myself, for my
on
personal life,
myself, for my
but
personal
also
life,
for what I write.
but
I
also
want
for
people
what
to
I write.
understand
I
that
want people
it
to
isn't
understand
okay
that it
to
isn't okay
to be
to
detrimental to other
be
people's confidence
detrimental to other
in this
people's
way. You have to be
confidence
careful in
this
how
way.
you say
You have to
things,
be
even though
careful
you are
in
telling
how
them
you
the
say things,
truth,
even though you're telling them the truth.
especially when it comes to young girls.
Especially when it comes
Now,
to young
this
girls.
in men,
Now,
we talked about this too,
men,
because men
we talked
do
about
get
this
into
too,
trouble
men
too.
do get
Can
into
you
trouble
tell me a
too.
little bit
Can
about
you
how
tell me
you
a little bit about
feel
how you
when it comes
feel when it
to
comes
eating
to
disorders?
eating
Because a lot of
disorders?
these
Because
disorders
a lot
come
of these
from people
disorders
being
come from
insecure.
people being insecure.
I will give
I
you a brief
will give
example.
you a brief
For me,
example.
it was never an
For
eating
me,
disorder. It was never about, I was always comfortable with my body. My body was good. I always had a good body. I was always thin. I had big boobs. I didn't have butt. No butt. Like it was flat. Since, you know, I always did like the exercise, nothing. And after I had kids, you know, I developed the butt. But it was more like, I remember when I was in school, you know, you see that the shape of my face, it's kind of like a heart shape. There was a girl who called me egg face. And then I didn't like my feet. I thought my toes were too long and too weird. And I didn't like my eyes because they were like downcast until somebody told me I looked like an anime, and it was awesome. I didn't like my ear. I have one ear that is lifted, and I didn't like. So all of these are like little tiny things that people are not. It makes you not perfect. And when you come to the right person, this person actually likes those little flaws. I love flaws in a man. When I have somebody in my life and I'm in love with them and I see little weird things, I discover them and I go, oh my God, it's so cute. He has this weird thing here. It's not normal. How do you deal with this being younger? When you're young, you're developing, you're gaining confidence, you're becoming a person, you're getting comfortable in your own body. How do you deal with people telling you you have, and this happens everywhere, this high school thing, kids bullying other kids. There's a big controversy when it comes to being gay. You know, a lot of gay kids are murdered over bullying. How do you deal with it on a personal level?
Oh, well, on a personal level, I think, you know, as I was telling you before, this happened to me a lot more when I was a kid. So at that time, it was really, really hard for me. And while I never had an eating disorder, I've always been a really skinny girl. So, and even though being skinny is actually something that's considered desirable, then I got bullied for that too. So it makes you question yourself, you know, like you cannot do anything right, you know? So it's
they used to call me like palo con tetas, and you know, 'cause you're thin and tall and you have boobs. So nobody's happy ever. And this is the point that I want to make. I don't want to make anybody happy, but not myself, because it sounds selfish. I want to be happy with how I feel. And if being healthy and saying, you know, I am in the best shape of my life, I'm doing everything that I can to outlive, you know, all of this craziness that comes to us when you get older, and I'm doing the best to adapt to my body, not the other way around. I don't adapt to diets or weight or anything, and I'm doing my best to feel as good as I do, because it took me forever to feel this comfortable with who I am, and then to still hear somebody say to you at my age, 47, you're old, you're fat, you're ugly, it makes you question people. It makes me laugh. I laugh about it because it makes me feel like, what the heck are they talking about? How do you date someone? How do you start dating someone and then realize, oh, you know what? I don't like you because you're fat. I can understand I don't like you because we have become, you know, this personality thing has evolved, and we have discovered maybe we don't have as much in common, because all that comes in talking and you know, bonding, spending time together. But how do you know that all of a sudden, oh, you don't like them? It's not, it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah, it makes you question the quality of the relationship for them. So I think, like I personally would, and I know it sounds very, I think when I say it sounds easy, although it's not. But I always think about what's the best option. You know, what's the healthiest thing, not only for me, but for the person that I'm sharing this experience with. So what I usually would do is walk away. I would just end the relationship, because for me, at least, it's a standard that, you know, that we will not judge each other as we change, that we accept each other, and a physical appearance. Like, you're not going to be the person out of everyone in the world that's going to make me feel bad about my body, you know, that's going to criticize me. Like, if I do not judge myself, I'm not going to let anyone else do it for me.
Exactly.
You know, and I think that's very important for me. Yeah, like figuring out, you know, that growing up was really, you know, it took me some time, And even though it took me some time, I'm still grateful that I'm relatively young and
Yeah.
I got to build
You're
that.
young. You're not.
But
You're not relatively
yes.
young. You're a young girl. You're 19. It's young.
I'm young, yeah. Like I was just born yesterday, so it
Wow.
really takes a specific set of experiences.
I am
to make that.
in awe of your strength and in the way that you see this, because you sound like you have a smart, stable connection with who you are. It comes a lot from your family. I think your home and the people that you're with. A lot of it comes from reading and the people that you hang out with, your friends, your support system. We all have to have some kind of support system. What I would recommend for people your age, and this is something that I'm going to say very lightly here because I haven't finished writing the entry for my website. I'm going to post different things at the end of the post so people can click on it and find help if they need it. I think it can get to to extremes. There are girls and women all over the world who are struggling with the way they look. Thank God it has changed a little bit, but they are still struggling. A lot of them making themselves sick with various disorders that are need to be treated, and also some of them that die or commit suicide because they don't feel like they are enough.
Yeah,
So
and
I think this is a really important
it's very
thing to
important.
talk about.
Yeah, I think it's really important, and I can actually say that it's a great idea, and I love that you're doing that because there was a time I did need those support systems. There was a time I was one of those girls who needed some help. I did struggle as a kid with body dysmorphia, and while I'm incredibly thankful that in my journey I never fell into any physical harming system, I did struggle a lot emotionally and psychologically. It was overall really hard. And the thing that really made me, find a way to overcome that, to learn how to see myself in a different light.
I'm so glad that you did.
But
I think it's a generational responsibility.
I'm so glad that you did.
We have a generational responsibility to our next generation, so they feel like they don't have to be alone in their battles. It's not just the part where you are not good enough for me, which is my center of focus. I sort of write about this all the time, but it's very important for you to know and understand that you have someone out there always to reach out to in case of having bad thoughts. And that certain eating disorders need to be treated in order to be controlled, because once your body gets accustomed to starvation and certain other things like vomiting, for a lot of people this is a solution, you have to readapt and readjust your body to a certain different diet. So to wrap things up, I am in honor that I get to meet someone who is young and so well versed in so many things already. I think you have a good grounding system for you to start a career. And this is my first thing that I see in you, right? When it comes to relationships, I think I see that you're very well established as well in what you want, where you want to go in a relationship. But I want you to tell girls who are like you, who are artists, especially, they're very emotional normally. It's a cliche, but it's true. We're emotional, weird beings who are empathetic and very easily swayed into believing there was something because you feel it so deep in your soul. You're like, oh my God.
It
So what do
hits
you
hard.
tell your peers, those girls who are your age, where should they seek sort of comfort and support when it comes to understanding who they are and valuing the person they are in general?
Well, there's always going to be somebody out there for us. You know, it's the thing about remembering that it's someday going to be better. You know, I struggled with this a lot, and I remember being a kid, being like 7 years old or something, and it really hits me. You know, nowadays it hits me how young I was. I cannot imagine a little kid thinking this, but I do remember being a little kid, 7 years old, 8, and thinking, wow, like if I do not ever get beautiful, if I do not grow up to be beautiful, what can I offer to this world? Am I supposed to be in this world? You know, like what am I going to do? And that really is something that, you know, it puts in perspective a lot of things and how we are, you know, what we're communicating to the little kids as they grow up. It's really important to make sure that they are
very
that
important.
they do not base their value on things that are just subjective, you know, because there's always going to be somebody that finds you beautiful. And overall, I think something that helps me a lot that I think I can share is journaling. You can look inside of you. Yeah, journaling has done miracles for me, you know. And I used to say that I would never do journaling as a kid because I used to think it was, I used to be afraid of having my thoughts out there. But when I really sat down and did it, it really, you know, it left me absolutely baffled because it helped me a lot.
I taught my daughter to do the same thing. I think because I'm a writer as well. So for me, I think when you're my age and you have a support system, but it's not the same. Older women tend to be a little bit more self-controlled, and a lot of my friends are in relationships. So it's a little bit different, and everybody's sort of like stabilized in their life. And I have just a couple of single friends here and there. I live in an area that I don't socialize much because I work all the time. But hold on a second. Okay, my phone is like about to die here. Anyway, my concern for people my age is that there's a certain struggle that happens when you have to figure out where or how to channel the anxiety and the pain that comes with being, you know, in a situation where you're not comfortable. So I channel mine through art. And this is very important for people who are like us. You do it through acting or writing or painting or sculpture. For me, it's always been art. I write and I turn my anger into something productive. So at this, like today, the productiveness is sitting with you, getting to talk about this, and possibly maybe reach out to someone who is having difficulties, someone who is out there and just struggling terribly with pain. I really appreciate you being here with me today. I'm super happy to have met you and having you in my life. At this point, I consider you one of my little tigers.
Yeah. So I love that we have so much in common, and we are just realizing like
I know. And I hope that everything is well in your life in the sense of your career, but more importantly, that your relationships are are what you want them to be. You want them to be a loving relationship based on trust and good values, and that you never get to feel, you know,
Yeah.
a horrible thing from anybody.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
it's an unrealistic thing to wish for someone, because you always will. But if you do, I'm hoping that you get this sort of you have
Like,
this
yeah, like understand. Like I get somebody that I can understand myself.
Yes, exactly. So so I'm posting everything. I don't know what's going to happen with the Instagram feed because my phone just died, but
Well, it's still on the feed, so the audio, I think it just closed off, I think. All right,
yes,
so
because it turned off. My phone, the battery was low or something. But anyway, I am posting this via my Instagram. I'm also posting via my YouTube channel, and I will post all of your information there so people can contact you and follow you if they want. Please stay in touch. I hope we can meet personally soon, and we can do sort of these talks more often. I think I'm going to do them every month, hopefully with various topics in mind, and especially topics that have to do with things that help other people. All right. Do you have anything that you want to add to this before we go?
Before we go, I gotta say, always try to find support in the people that you love and that love you, because ultimately that's the thing that really helped me out. You know, that's something that I relied on, and it really was my fortress whenever I was not feeling myself. So that's something I can
Good.
really about. It's whenever you're not feeling like you're being supported by your thoughts, whenever your mind drifts off, it's always good to reach out to somebody that you love. Reach out to just anyone if you have
Good.
to. But yeah, always remember that you have a value in this world to whoever.
I'm glad you feel this way, and I'm glad you were here to support people, your peers, and hopefully we'll get to mix more drinks. I might need some ice.
Yeah.
And thank you for sharing yours. We have to like swap recipes, drink recipes, but hopefully I'll get to see you sometime soon and we get to act together. That'd be great. Want it? Yeah, that'd be awesome. All right, sweetheart. Thank you for being here today. I really appreciate your time. You were very kind to say you wanted to join me, and hopefully we'll get to do this again.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love it. We got to do it again.
All right. Nice to meet you, and tell everybody. Hope to see you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.